Right.
Just out of interest, what happened to the prayer for Israel? Just out of interest, what were you going to do to put balance? What were you? Why
Oh,
did you?
was I going to do that next? Was I? Oh,
Well,
well,
you thought you were, but I don't want to say.
okay. So what probably happened to it was I forgot. So
Okay. No, no
if
more.
somebody would like to remind me before next Monday morning, when I usually prepare the Shiur, then we will do that next week. Or if somebody reminds me at the end of this Shiur, then I'll put it on the end of this one, and then when I listen to it, I'll remind myself to do it next week. But
You
you're
just
right.
said for balance,
That
Well,
but
would
now
have
it's
made
already
sense
on.
to
It's
do
already
that next
on
week.
the Shiur from the beginning. So make
Okay.
yourself a little note.
Okay. So we're going to talk tonight about a prayer which we say often and probably don't do it justice if we're honest. Now, that could be said for many things. You're right, Barbara, but this particular prayer of Nishmat Kol Chai is a very powerful prayer, which is not given enough, thought, and not given enough concentration.
Bye. Johnny, can you mute everybody?
Yeah, let's just mute everybody here. I'm going to mute you all because we're getting some feedback. Yeah, there we go. You're all muted now. If you want to speak, you'll have to unmute. Okay, so we're going to talk about Nishmat Kol Chai. Now, where do we say Nishmat Kol Chai? Shacharit of Shabbat. Okay, and on Yom Tov before Baruch Hu. And where else do we say it? Where else do we say it, Philip? Warren, where else do we say Nishmat Kol Chai? Right, Warren's just warming up. Anyone else?
Would it be on Seder night?
Yeah, heard the answer. Okay. What about you guys on Zoom? Anyone know where we say it?
Seder night?
Shacharit on the Chagim, yes.
Seder night.
Yes, Seder night, yes. Lionel,
yes.
well done, Jackie. Lionel gave us the answer before, and we heard him. On Seder night, we say Nishmat on Seder night.
And he taught it to all the family. It's a beautiful tune, which really does to justice.
Okay, so what Lionel just said was that his father-in-law had a special tune for it on Seder night, which he taught to everybody, which he only said on Seder night, presumably that tune. Okay, now, since you mentioned tunes, we will come to tunes very very shortly, but maybe we'll come straight away. But just before we do, I want to just think about Nishmat on Seder night, because that will give us some insight into what Nishmat really is. Where in Leil HaSeder do we say Nishmat?
We say
near the end than the beginning.
Shacharit.
1 second, Jackie. We
After
say it as
Hallel.
part of Shacharis after benching.
No.
Philip says Shacharis after benching on Seder night. That's a chiddush.
You read it. You say Shachanah on.
That doesn't mean it's Shacharis.
Yeah, but you say it before Shachanah.
Okay, so you're right. We say it. We say it on Seder night, but it's not as Shacharis.
No, not as Shacharis, but it's maybe because the rabbis, the 4 rabbis or the 3 rabbis, can't remember how many there were sitting, waiting for Kriyat Shema.
No, that's not why. Okay, so what's it doing there on Seder night? Anyone?
Songs of praise.
What did you say, Jackie?
Songs of praise.
Songs of praise. Thank you very much. That used to be for those of you who are not English. It still is. There is apparently still is a program, used to be on Sunday evening at 6:30 or something, called Songs of Praise on the BBC. And as soon as that came on, the telly went off. Wasn't allowed to watch that.
Who prepared it?
Because I don't know. Wasn't allowed to watch. It was full of goyim. I wasn't allowed to watch it. It was Goyish
Was it
choirs
Christian?
and churches and things. That was forbidden in my house, verboten. Anyway, songs of praise. You're right, Jackie. It's songs of praise. It is in the middle of Hallel. Hallel. What do we say on Seder night? We say Hallel. We say Hallel. But not only do we say Hallel, we say an enlarged Hallel.
In the middle, it's after.
We say Hodu Lashem Kitov, all those Hodu Lashem Kitovs that we don't normally say all of them, unless you're Nusach Sfad on Shacharit Shabbos morning.
This is Ashkenaz as well.
These are in Nusach Ashkenaz as well, a whole lot.
Yes.
Okay, we don't sing them though, do we?
No.
Okay, so they do.
Everybody
Right.
else we
So we do the whole Hodus. It's a big Hallel. Why are we saying Hallel on Seder night? What is Hallel?
Praise.
Thanksgiving, songs of praise, songs of thanksgiving. Nishmat is a song of praise to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and you only need to look at the first few words to understand what it's going to tell us when we go through it. So let's just translate.
From what I understand, includes everything, but absolutely everything, from our very being back to through everything and back to our very being.
Okay, so Hannah says it includes everything. Well, that would be a good place to start. Let's do a bit of translation. Nishmat kol chai.
The souls of all living beings.
The souls of all living beings. That will be a good translation. The souls of all living beings. So there you are, Hannah, straight away. You've got your inclusivity of everything, all living beings.
But
Well, the Goldman translations say breath.
yes, mine says breath.
The soul of every living being. What does your translation say?
The breath and mine.
The breath. Okay. And I have over here that so you can see it. Leon Bennett's Bar Mitzvah Siddur, and that also says breath.
Yeah.
However, I also have
The art scrolls.
I also
of
have-
living being.
Leon Bennett's Art Scroll Siddur. Beverly gave me all his olds for him, and I like to use them as much as I can. And that says the soul of every living being. Well, I think that let's go back a stage. Obviously, going too fast. This is not my style to go so fast, but we went through 4 words there. I mean, 1, 2, 3. We went through 4 words far too quickly there. Nishmat is the possessive form of what word? Neshama. Now, if I was to say to you, if neshama, shell, it's a possessive form of neshama. If I was to say to you, Barbara, what is a neshama? A soul. So why does it say breath in your?
Breath is part of the soul, or the soul is part of the.
Okay. Barbara is telling us that there is a word linshom, to breathe. Now, the word breath or to breathe is connected with neshama. Why?
Because it's from your body.
Your body, neshama. Now we say in Hallel, not in Hallel. We say in Shacharit every morning, part of Tehillim. What do we say, Colin? What do I think? Kol haneshama tahalel ka. Kol, and we repeat it. Kol haneshama tahalel ka. Right? What does that mean? Kol haneshama.
All of the soul, the whole.
Shall be returned.
Well,
I think it's breath because that mizmor, that capital of Tehillim, is all about musical instruments.
okay. So Colin says that it's talking about breath.
Sound. It's about soundless sound.
So it's because it's about sounds. It's about which musical instrument, the harp and the kinnor and the all those things, Right now, the Chazal say they make a drasha out of this word neshama. Kol neshama. Normally, you would translate neshama as a soul. So you would translate it as every soul or all of your soul should praise God. Tahalelka should praise God. And what do they say? Al tikre neshama. Do not read the word as neshama. Ella neshima.
Breath.
The shima is a breath. Okay, neshima Why do you keep pouring me things? How many am I meant to drink all at once? Thank you very much. So, you're looking after me very well, Philip. So, Kol HaNeshima. Neshima is a breath. Obviously, Neshama and Neshima are very closely related to one another, and that's why the authorized daily prayer book of Lionel and of Leon say breath. The breath of every living being, or the soul of every being. It works either way.
Johnny,
Does it? Right. Okay. That's interesting. Yes,
Johnny,
Jackie.
don't we believe if our soul goes up to heaven every night, then the Almighty puts the breath back in our bodies?
That's correct. We say that before we go to sleep at night, and when we wake up at night, we wake up in the morning. We thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for returning our souls to us. So souls and breath obviously are very connected. So I'm comfortable with either translation of every breath shall praise or bless, or every soul shall bless. I don't have a problem with either of them. But let's just go and see what this first sentence says. Nishmat kol chai, the soul of every living being, or the breath of every living being, tevarech, shall bless, et shimcha, Hashem Elokeinu.
Now it's in the feminine form. So neshima or neshama.
What's in the feminine form?
Tevarech.
No, it's not. That's
Yes,
masculine.
It's not.
Masculine. Otherwise, it'd be tevarechi.
No, it would be yivarech.
Nishmat kol chai, tevarech. Oh, it's not an imperative though. Okay, all right. So tevarech. Okay, neshama is feminine. You're quite right. So I'm not sure what relevance this has, but anyway, nishmat kol chai tevarech. The soul or the breath of every living being should bless your name, Hashem Elokeinu. V'ruach kol basar. Ruach, the spirit.
Yeah.
Kol basar,
All living things
of all flesh. Tefa'er.
Will lighten up.
From pa'er, to
is-
glorify.
yeah.
Should glorify. Or to romaim,
Raise
and raise up. Okay. Zichrecha,
your memory.
your memory. Malkeinu,
Okay.
our king. Tamid,
Always.
forever.
Why your
Right.
memory? We haven't forgotten him.
Your remembrance, it's actually translated here.
Remember.
So it's not memory, it's remembrance. In other words, it means that the fact that we should remember HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
For example, it's translated as fame.
Fame.
In the Bible.
That's interesting.
And extol thy memorial.
And here it says, extol thy fame, exalt thy fame. Fame, that's a good.
To forever.
No, zichrecha.
Oh,
It's unintended. Misleading.
What does it say there?
The
Memory of fame. Okay.
and exalt thy memorial is unintelligible, misleading.
Right, okay, interesting. So he translates it as fame. Right. The point of that pasuk is, of course,
Goldie.
the late Goldie.
Not late, I'll tell you later.
Okay, welcome. So the idea is that this first pasuk tells us what this whole thing's about. It's about the total and utter acknowledgement, devotion and acknowledgement of the entire being, the entire world, if you like, but our entire being of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's a very high level prayer, this is, you know, we sort of don't do it justice, I don't think, because we say it quickly and we don't consider what we're saying. But this is a prayer which is coming from deep within us, from the neshima, from the very breath that we take. So every breath that we take, I think that's a good name for a good song, I think that, yeah?
Yeah.
Every breath
Yeah,
we
okay.
take.
Every breath that you take and every part of your soul should be praising HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now, given that...
Wait, time out 1 second. You should just, you were asking when this is said. The women who daven at the kotel, I'm talking about these women from Meir Sharim and Geula that go there every morning. They say Nishmat Kol Chai every day. It's within the Haredi world, it is like a daily thing that women say. It's
Okay, I wasn't
yeah.
aware of that. Certainly not in the Siddur. Yes, Hannah?
It's from our inside or to our insides? It's not here in the text, it's the way we look at it.
I understand it to be that we should take everything that we have and with every bone in my body, with every breath in my
body.
with
Acceptance.
everything that I have should be praising the Kodesh Baruch Hu. And that's why I would argue, Faye, that to say it every day is not something which is necessarily a good thing. I'm not saying that they shouldn't do it, those people that do it. What I'm saying
That's the
is
same women who say, the Shirah of all the
kol hakavod
animals
to
and all
them.
the plants.
But I'm going to ask the question is, why do we only say it on Shabbat? And I think the answer is what we've just said. The answer is, why do we only say it on Shabbat or on Seder night? Let's take Shabbat first. Shabbat, and when I say Shabbat, I mean Shabbat and Yom Tov as well. Because that is a time when we are much more attuned. Our souls are attuned to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. On Shabbat, we get what? A neshama Yitzirah. We get an extra soul, as it were, right?
But these women are very in tune all the time, every day. They go down to the Kotel every day. Or my friends on the Moshav, they say the Shirah, of all the Shirot, I forget what it's called, the Shirot of all the animals and plants and everything in the universe. And they say Tehillim. And they say Nishmat Kol Chai. Because it's a consciousness.
Okay, that's kol hakavod to them. We're not on their madrega, so therefore we only say it on Shabbat. And on Seder night we say it because we are beginning, on Seder night, we're beginning to be a people, and we recognize the fundamental praise that we need to give HaKadosh Baruch Hu for having released us from Mitzrayim. So Nishmat, again, I'm not criticizing these women who go and do these things, kol hakavod to them, but it's almost like this is a too holy a prayer. No, you're not happy with that?
No, I'm saying that.
Right, sorry. This is almost like it's too holy a prayer to say every day. Now, I just want to digress for a second on that concept. One second, I just want to digress. It's important, this. Has anybody ever davened at Chabad on a Shabbat morning? On a Shabbat morning? Okay.
Yeah.
When do they say Anim Zemirot in Chabad?
They don't.
They don't.
It's a trick question, Philip, and you fell for it head first. They don't.
They don't.
They don't say it at all. Why don't they say it? Why don't they say it? You know why they don't say it in Chabad? It's too holy. It's too holy. One sec. This is an important concept. It's too holy. One day in the Shiur, remind me, we'll do Anim Zemirot. Anim Zemirot is a very, very holy prayer. And the Chabad have the opinion that it's too holy for us to say. And the only time they say Anim Zemirot is on Yomim Noraim.
We generally.
I've never been there.
Okay, it's a very good question. It's a very good question, and probably the answer is we shouldn't. How did that arise? I don't know. I think I'll look into it when we get into Anim Zemirot. I'm sure there is some historical reason for that.
Why do children do it then? Or is that the question?
Because
children are holy.
Yeah, could be that.
Children's prayers are holy.
Hannah is saying that the children are holy and pure, and they have not yet sullied their souls like us adults. Could be that. Anyway, the fact is that Anim Zemirot is not said in Chabad because it's too holy. And I would suggest to you, one second, Lionel, I would suggest to you that Nishmat is only said on Shabbat and Yom Tov and not on a regular weekday, except for the holy women, because it's too holy to say every day, and also it wouldn't be special. Now, even on the days where we say the Mizmorim Shel Shabbat, We say the extra Mizmorim Shel Shabbat on certain days, which are not Shabbat and Yom Tov. What days am I talking about? Hoshana Rabbah, Yom Ha'atzmaut, Yom Yerushalayim. We don't say Nishmat. We don't say Nishmat. Now, there's nothing in Nishmat that specifically talks about Shabbat. So there's no reason why we shouldn't do it on those days. But it's almost like Chabad with Anim Zamirot. It's almost like it's on a different level, this prayer. It's on a different level. And it's not to be almost like it's not to be said lightly, if you like. Yes, Warren.
Nizmirah must be holier because we open the ark on Nizmirah. We don't open the
Okay,
ark.
that's a fair comment. Yes, Lionel.
What did he say?
Okay, no, Lionel says I would normally have said by now who wrote it and when it was written. You're right, I would normally have done that by now, but I haven't got to that bit yet. Yes, Hannah.
26 weeks. Whether it's from our inside or to us. Now, all the reasons that you said, I agree with the other way round, and I'll just make one short comment as to where I'm coming from. And we also say, Ein anu anachnu maspikim
Right, Leslie.
lehodot lecha.
Right.
Okay, we can't thank you enough.
Right.
And my comment is that possibly it's a prayer to encourage us to think about how we should be behaving to or treating our prayer to God.
Okay. I don't disagree with any of that. We will get to Ein Anachnu Maspikim in a few weeks' time, probably. But because it's a funny prayer, really, in that regard. I'll just sort of preface it a little bit, and then we'll come back to it when we get to that bit. What we say is, we don't have the ability to pray to you. We don't have it. If even if the whole sea was full of, prayer, it wouldn't be enough. So what would the sensible thing to do? Well, don't do it. If you haven't got the tools to do it, you don't do it. But then we go on and do it anyway. But we'll get back to that. Right, I want to share this with you now. The reason I want to share all this with you, if this thing would work, it would help.
You'd like to share with us.
The reason I want to share this with you is to show you how widespread the love and consideration of Nishmat is. Rabbi Sachs always used to say that the words are the word. How did he put it now?
Music of the soul.
No, music comes from the soul. Words comes from the brain, and music comes from the soul.
Comes from the soul.
Music
from
comes
the
from the
heart.
soul. And there are hundreds and hundreds of different people who have made songs of Nishmat Kol Chai. It's one of the most sung about prayers. You go on, if you want to, don't believe me, go onto YouTube. I'm just putting Nishmat Kol Chai songs. There's hundreds of them. I've picked out a few just to play you a little bit of each one to show you the breadth of love that there is for this prayer. And let me...
Is incredible. It's unbelievable.
We're going to come to the wording in due course. We've not got to that bit yet. Now, where is the bit that says share sound? There it is. There it is. And now then, let me just go to the right bit. I'm going to show you this one first. This is a chappie called Yehuda Green. Anybody heard of him?
Yeah, he's from the Karbach Shul. He's the chazan of the Karbach Shul.
Okay, well, here you go.
He's the chazan of the Karbach Shul. Did you hear that?
I did. I'm going to show you this now. Let's have a look. Share.
What is...
Tell me, hopefully you'll be able to hear this when I play it. Okay, apart from the fact that he's got a beautiful voice, I don't know about you, but that sort of
That was Calabar, I didn't
no, that was Yehuda Green. It touches the soul. I mean, it's just the tune, the way he sang that. How about this one? This one is a chap called Shlomo Daskal. Shlomo Daskal. Have a look at this one and have a listen. This chap, if those of you who can't see the screen, he has got a lovely spodak on. He's got lovely payers. He's got big hands and a big voice. Listen to this. Shlomo Daskal with his big Strahel. And just to show you that I'm an equal opportunities Shiur, I'm going to show you this one next. This one is a couple of girls and a young lad. Very modern looking, very different to Thank you. That was the Tefilah Mashiachit Yisraelis. That was a messianic thing, right? I'm not sure quite which messianic bit it is, but so we'll move on. We'll move on. I just wanted to show you that there is a very great range. Now listen to this one. Listen to this one. This one is Yuval Avidani. Listen to this.
אלוה כל בריות אדון כל תולדות ומולה לא יכולת ישבחות המנהג עולמו בחיר.
Very smarty.
Yeah, very smarty. Okay, that's enough of that as well. And this last one that I'm going to show you now, this very last one, is especially for Faye. Okay, Faye.
You got Shlomo doing it.
This is Faye. This is for you, Faye.
You have Shlomo doing it.
Right, okay, that's enough of that as well. I just wanted that was especially for you, Faye. Okay.
Thank you. That brought tears to my eyes.
I can see you're in seventh heaven there.
I am. Thank you.
Don't ever give you anything, Faye. There you are, especially for you. Right. So the reason that I wanted to show you all of those things, apart from to make Faye happy, was to show you the breadth of when we went from Messianic Judaism all the way through to Hasidic Judaism to Sephardi to all sorts.
Well, the interesting thing to me is that I've never been sure where they sing.
Where they sing it, right? Okay. So Paul and Barbara both pointed out that actually we rush through it and we don't sing it, and more's the pity. More's the pity. But we've all said, haven't we, in this shiur, we've all said that if we were to daven the way we say we should daven in this shiur, that we wouldn't get through shacharit before it was time for Mariv, never mind mincha. So I guess some things have to give. And I'm going to actually ask the question.
Wait. I'm sorry. Wait a second.
One second.
Wait a minute.
Wait. Mute you, right? Okay, it's great this thing. You just press mute. I wish I could mute you. So
I can unmute.
So I'm going to, when we get to it, I'm going to ask the question, and you can think about the answer. that towards the end of this prayer of Nishmat, on Shabbat morning or Yom Tov morning, the Chazan takes over. And on Shabbat morning, he takes over at Shochinat. And on Yom Tov, he takes over at Hakel. Right. Now, so first of all, why is it? And Yom Noraim, he takes over at Hamelech. Okay, that's an easy one. Hamelech is easy. But why on? Don't answer me this now, because we're going to get to there eventually in I don't know how many weeks' time. But that's a question that I think we need. I don't know if you've ever thought about it. Why do we start at Hakel? And why do we start at Shochinad on Shabbat morning as the Chazan? And I suppose the corollary question is really what you've both asked. Why doesn't the Chazan start at Nishmat? Nishmat is the beginning of the extra Shabbat Yom Tov stuff. Why doesn't the Chazan begin at Nishmat and sing it? Well, there are places, the Sephardim particularly, who do sing Nishmat. Not like that wailing stuff we've just heard, but they do actually sing Nishmat in some places in the Sephardim, but not Ashkenazim. You're quite right. They sing everything. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The same tune.
So the question is, Lionel. No, thank you. The question is, Lionel, who wrote it and when? Go on.
Wait, before you go on talking about how we don't ever do Nishmat Kol Chai in singing.
Go on.
Okay, is that we have definitely people very often start the Nishmat Kol Chai with Shlomo's Niggin. Nishmat Kol Chai, even in our shul, and especially when we had like the Solomon brothers and I think Yehuda Katz.
Yeah, but we're not talking here standard, Nusach Ashkenaz.
But it's a beautiful way to just very often just the first line, and then they can say blah 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 blah.
But then we gabble the rest off.
Okay, right. Yes, Lana. What does it say in your book? Sorry. Shimon ben Shetach. Okay, where does it say that in your? Okay, let me have a look at this. See if it says that in Leon's as well. Okay, listen to this. This is really interesting. Yes, it does. Tradition connects its authorship with the statesman rabbi of the Maccabean dynasty. Spoiled it now because I was going to ask you who Shimon ben Shetach was, but now I've told you. Shimon ben Shetach. Now, listen to this. Listen to this, everyone. This is going to shock you to the core. Right? A curious legend that was current in medieval Germany and France. It's not fair that you've got this, Lionel. You're stealing all my thunder. Lionel's got the same book. A curious legend that was current in medieval Germany and France declared the author of Nishmas to have been Simon Cephas. Cephas, I don't know how you say it. Who was Simon Cephas?
Saint Peter.
Simon Cephas.
The Apostle Peter, correct.
No.
Saint Peter.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, how about that? Did you know that, Colin, that Saint Peter was meant to have written Nishmas? Yeah. I never knew that until I read this earlier on today.
I'm going to stop saying it.
In this prayer, he was to have completed his renunciation of the new doctrine with which he had been associated. This legend was indignantly repudiated by Rashi and others. Okay, so there's an interesting. Go on, tell us a bit more then, Colin.
Rabbeinu Tam says that he doesn't. Rabbeinu Tam doesn't associate St. Peter specifically with Nishmas, but he refers to him as a holy person. So the tradition is that St. Peter was a sort of a plant. He took the fall for the cause. And in order to create blue space, distance between the breakaway religion and the authentic religion, he was a plant to create subversive and different practices to differentiate Christianity from the Jewish religion. That's
fascinating. I never knew anything.
He took the fall.
I didn't know that.
And this was something that he composed as his vidoy or prayer on Rosh Hashanah. That's the story.
Okay, did you all manage to hear that?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll repeat it. I'll repeat it into the microphone for those of you who didn't hear it. Colin has explained that Peter was actually not an apostle at all. He was a plant. He was a Trojan horse. He was not that kind of plant, right?
He was a very naughty boy.
Yeah, he was a very naughty boy. Yeah, he was a plant in there to make sure that there was clear blue sky between the practices of this new fangled religion called Christianity and Judaism, in order that people would be able to see very clearly what was the difference and to not get sucked into it. And these concepts are still very relevant today, because many of the missionaries that are out there trying to suck in particularly young and vulnerable Jews, like Jews for Jesus and stuff like that, pretend to be authentic Judaism, just sort of dressed up a little bit, and you can still be Jewish and believe in Jesus and all that kind of stuff. So Peter was in there to make sure that didn't happen. And Colin has explained that he wrote Nishmat, according to this legend, which Rashi indignantly repudiated, according to this. He wrote it as his sort of vidui, as his sort of confession that, he was, I suppose, the first Mossadnik. He was there undercover in the Christian world there. Fascinating story. I didn't know any of this. So I'm going to have to go and do a bit more research on this. So according to, that's why I never told you straight away, Lionel, because it was too good to go straight into, that this might have been written by Peter. So anyway, Rashi doesn't think so. There's another opinion that says it was written by somebody called Yitzchak. Why would I say that?
Because of the cross.
Okay, turn, if you will, in your Sidurim to the end of Nishmat. Yeah, and this only really works if you have got the Nusach Ashkenaz version. Befi Yesharim Tit Halal.
Titramam.
Okay, that's okay. That's why I said it. That's why I said it only works. Okay. Titramam. Okay, you've got Titramam because you're in Nusach Sfard. We'll just do the first bits. Befi Yesharim something or other. Over Divrei Tzadikim something or other. We've got Over Divrei Tzadikim Titbarach. We've got Uvilshon Chasidim Titramam. Over Kerev Kedoshim Titkadash.
That's cool. It's different.
Now, if you take the first letter of the second word, right, on each line, so Befi Yesharim, Yud, V'divrei Tzadikim, Tzadik, Uvilshon Chasidim, Chet, Uvekerev Kedoshim, Kuf. Okay, which reads Yitzchak. Now then, there is an opinion that says that the author was an unknown Yitzchak. Now we have precedent for this, don't we? And we've learnt that precedent ourselves when we learnt Lecha Dodi, because Lecha Dodi has an acrostic which says Shlomo Halevi. Lionel, when was Lecha Dodi written? 1540. Well done. How do you remember that? Well done. 1540, and it was written by Reb Shlomo Halevi Alkabetz. Okay, and it's got his name in it. So there is a suggestion that this prayer was written by somebody called Yitzchak. However, if you have, can I just borrow your Siddur, please?
You've also got the
wait, you're also stealing my thunder there. Right? Okay. Now, 1 second, Johnny. And 1 second, I'll come to you in a second. Hannah was trying to steal my thunder, and I'm not letting her. But I'll go to Johnny first before my thunder is stolen. Yes, Johnny?
I'm just reading the third letter of the third word going down.
Okay, no, you're about to steal it as well.
Oh, sorry.
You're all stealing my thunder here, right? All of you poor folk like Warren, who is sat there with a Nusach Ashkenaz Siddur, and Barbara have no idea what we are talking about. So let me explain. Okay, in Nusach Ashkenaz, this is such fun. In Nusach Ashkenaz, we have Befi Yesharim Tit Halal, ובדברי צדיקים
Tzadikim
תתברך, ובלשון חסידים תתרומם,
Romam,
ובקרב קדושים תתקדש. Now, if you look in a Nusach Sfard Siddur, you will see something different. It says, B'fi Yesharim Titromam, ובספסי צדיקים תתברך, ובלשון חסידים תתקדש, ובקרב קדושים תתהלל. Now, I never knew until today why Nusach Ashkenaz and Nusach Sfard have a different version. I know that's not quite what I meant. What I meant was I never knew until today why somebody would mess about with it and change it, as it were. Why do I say change it? Because what is the oldest nusach of davening? Not Sfard. The oldest nusach is Nusach Ashkenaz. The oldest Siddur comes from what century?
12.
Oh, we did this.
You told us that.
9th century.
Something.
From the Geonic period, okay? The 9th century. The oldest Nusach is Ashkenaz. Nusach Sfard is much later, brought in by the Hannah's friends, the Kabbalists, right? And adopted by the Hasidim of Eastern Europe. And what's ironic about it is, no, not everybody. A lot of people think that Nusach Sfard is, whatever this means, frummer than Nusach Ashkenaz, because what do we know with Nusach Ashkenaz? We associate Nusach Ashkenaz with Nusach Anglia, don't we? And with, but actually, Nusach Ashkenaz comes from Ashkenaz, right? Comes from Ashkenaz, and that is the Western Europe. Western Europe. Wait a sec. So Germany, yeah, well, that's not Eastern Europe. As far as I know, Germany's in Central and Western Europe. Germany, Northern France. Okay, that's Ashkenaz. So Nusach Ashkenaz is the older Nusach. So I didn't understand why Nusach Sfard would mess around with this B'fi Yesharim and make the verb at the end in a different order, because we've got in Nusach Ashkenaz tit halal, tit barach, tit romam, tit kadash, and they've got it the same words but in a different order. Now, the reason, let me show you on the screen if I can. I'll show you when I showed you those songs and I got you to listen to those songs. What you probably didn't notice was on this one. There you go. This was that very Sephardi wailing thing that I made you listen to. On the screen you can see now, and you'll see it in your Nusach Ashkenaz Siddurim if you've got one, is that the third letter in the last word of each line spells Rivka. Okay, so there is an opinion that Yitzchak was the author of Nishmat. Because it's an acrostic like Shlomo Levi Alphabet. But there's another opinion that says no, nothing to do with the author at all. This prayer is alluding to Yitzchak and Rivka. Now, it only alludes to Yitzchak and Rivka in the Nusach Sfard version of it, which is a later version altogether. And therefore, I am not convinced. However, that is what is somebody said. Yes, Lionel. Do they?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I
Didn't
got my
know.
wives wrong, but it was Yitzchak and Rivka. It was Yitzchak and Rachel, and it was Yaakov and Rivka.
No, you've got your wives wrong.
You've got
your wives wrong. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Let's think about that. So Lionel and Colin have pointed out that in the Yomim Noraim, that the order is different in Nusach Ashkenaz. Are we sure about that? Let's go and get a Nusach Ashkenaz Yomim Noraim Max. Give me a second. I happen to have Leon Bennett's.
I slept in here. I slept all those Siddur. That's there in here. What? Water? Give me your glass and I'll pass it up.
Not sure it's right.
So I happen to have here a good old-fashioned Routledge, machzor. Okay, we're not probably apart from Frank, who uses it on a regular basis. Probably none of us have used one of these for a long time. Not sure what. Oh, no, yeah, no, you're backtracking. Lionel's backtracking a bit now. He's not sure anymore. Let's have a look. Okay, here we go. Titbarach Soreni. We're nearly there, I think, aren't we? Or are we before? No, we're a bit before that, aren't we? Okay, hang on a second. Where is it? Hamelech. Here we go. Okay, here is the Routledge version, everyone. V'chatuv ranenu tzadikim b'Hashem la yesharim navati la b'fi yesharim titromam u'v'divrei tzadikim titbarach u'v'ilshon chasidim titkadash u'v'kerev kadoshim tithalal. You should have been more confident, Lionel, because you're absolutely right. The Routledge is backing up Lionel. That's interesting. Now that begs a question, doesn't it?
Why?
Why?
There's something I wanted to.
Well, 1 second. We've got to get this. Anyone got any suggestions before we all go home and do our homework and find out? Rivka is the one who cries for her children. All right. Okay. In the absence of anything else, Lionel. Okay.
Midrash about Yitzchak
and Rivka opposite to another for each other. Okay, Colin says that's another nice idea. First of all, Lionel said that Rivka, that was Rachel who cries for a Rachel mevaker al baneha, not Rivka. You're getting your wives mixed up as well. It's catching. Okay, so Colin, right? So Colin's suggestion is that at the beginning of Parshat Toldot, we see that Yitzchak and Rivka daven for one another, according to Rashi. Rivka was barren, and Yitzchak prayed for her, and in one corner, and Rivka was in the other corner and prayed for him, and therefore it's fitting on Yomim Noraim to allude to Yitzchak and Rivka. Okay, that's a good start. Homework,
Johnny.
Yes, have you got an idea, Jackie?
It seems like Yitzchak was davening to Rivka because she was complaining that she was barren, and he was talking to her and saying no. If you read it, it's like him talking to her. You're getting mixed
up with Yaakov and Rachel. Rachel complains to Yaakov, and he says, "Not my fault. I've got kids. It's you, right? Am I in place of HaKadosh Baruch Hu?" So you're also getting your wives mixed up, I think, Jackie. It's catching this, isn't it?
Okay.
All right.
That's Chana. Now you're on a whole other trip. That's Chana. That's Chana's husband who says that.
Chana also, yes, we're Chana, yeah, but we haven't got Chana in here, have we? All right, so that's a good start from Colin. Let's see if we can come up with anything else.
No, but that line is attributed to her husband.
Over the next week. Let's see if we can get any other reasons why Nusach Ashkenaz should change the order just on Yomim Noraim. Fascinating, absolutely fascinating. And that is before we even start on the words of Nishmat Kol Chai. We've just got a few more minutes left.
Can I say something?
Yes, you can. You've been very patient.
You said that Nusach Anglia, that they was mainly Ashkenaz, but in England, from even 200 years ago, there were already Jews coming in from Eastern Europe, the Hasidim, and I remember that in London there were some places that they did daven in Nusach.
No, I didn't say that Nusach Anglia is exclusive. I didn't say that England has exclusive Ashkenaz, but Nusach Anglia is based on the Hamburg rite, the Hamburg minhag, And
because
that's because they were
that they came in
they were the first. Yes, they were the first Jews to come over after the Sephardim first lot with the Sephardim from Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Menashe ben Israel.
Yeah.
But the first synagogues in Israel, which in England, London, which then amalgamated. There were two main synagogues that amalgamated to become
the United Synagogue.
The United Synagogue.
Yeah.
And that was based on the Hamburg. One was the Hamburger Schule, and the other one was called the New Synagogue, right? And they amalgamated eventually.
Jacobs called
No. In the 1700s,
yeah.
Okay, shortly after they were allowed back in. So the Hamburg Synagogue and the New Synagogue amalgamated to become the United Synagogue. And that was based on the Hamburg Minhag, which is Nusach Ashkenaz. Not 200 years ago, but certainly maybe 150 years ago, there started to be an influx of Eastern European Jews. And many of them actually, if you like, converted to Nusach Ashkenaz.
Yeah.
My parents, for example, my grandparents were from Romania. They daven Nusach Sfard in the Hasidic, because they were from Eastern Europe. They came to Manchester in the early part of the 20th century, early part of the 20th century, and davened in Johnny Halpin's shul, right? The Rumänische Schul, it was known as the Rumänische Schul, which davened, and still to this day, it's moved premises, but it's still the same Kehillah, still called the Rumänische Schul, and they davened Nusach Sfard.
Yeah.
So my father, in his younger days, davened Nusach Sfard. His father passed away before his bar mitzvah when he was 12, and he then moved to live with his sister, Jeffrey Glassky's mother, right? Now, the confusing thing was that her husband was actually a proper Sephardi, 7th generation Spanish and Portuguese, but he was a founder member of a Nusach Anglia shul called the Shrubberies, right? And so my father, from the age of 12, he actually did have his bar mitzvah in the Rumänische Schul, but shortly after he'd finished with his bar mitzvah, he then went to daven in this Nusach Ashkenaz Schul. And so from 13 onwards, he davened Nusach Ashkenaz. And that was a very common thing, that many of the Eastern Europeans came over and davened in the local, inverted commas, Minhag Anglia, Nusach Ashkenaz, based on Hamburg shuls, and therefore adopted Nusach Ashkenaz. Now, that's not to say that all of them did. Some of them started their own shuls, like the Rumänische Schul, and you will be able to tell me in London that there's various Stieblach here, there, and everywhere, mainly Stieblach, because that's how they used to daven, which daven Nusach Sfard. Now, when I got married, this is my family are completely mixed up, because when I got married, I went to daven in a Nusach Sfard Stiebel, in a Vishnitzer Stiebel. As it so happens, I continued to daven Nusach Ashkenaz. And then I came here where they daven Nusach Sfard, and I still daven Nusach Ashkenaz.
You still daven?
I still daven Nusach Ashkenaz.
You're a traitor.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm not a traitor. I do what my father. I do the minhag of my father. Okay. So the Nusach Ashkenaz is the older Nusach. That is for sure. Okay, we're almost out of time. So what did I want to tell you? I've got 10 pages of notes here on Nishmat Cholchai, and we haven't even started yet. I haven't even got to the first line of my 10 pages. Okay. Yeah, the next 10 weeks, yeah. So, that's not true, actually, because my first line was the question of why do we only say it on Shabbat and Yom Tov and at the Seder night? And we have answered that question. We've answered that question because it's too holy to be saying every day, unless you are one of the holy women that go to the wall, who are on a very much higher madrega. Again, we've done the next bit as well, actually, because my next bit was how old is Nishmat and where do we first see it? Now, we haven't answered that yet. Where is the first, I'm going to see how lateral thinking you are. Where do you think the first mention of Nishmat is not in liturgy, in Jewish, how will I put this without giving away the answer? In Jewish writings. Where is the first mention in the Gemara? Where would you find it in the Gemara?
In the Gemara?
Where will you find it in the Gemara, Lionel? That would have been a good answer. What would the other answer be? It's the wrong one, by the way. But it would have been a good answer had it been the right answer. And I've just given you a clue. Where? No, not in Eruvin. Think about where else we say Nishmat. Pesach. So it's in Psachim. It's in Psachim. Well done, Barbara. We got there. So the first mention, the oldest mention, the oldest and first mention of Nishmat is not on Shabbat morning. It's connected to Seder night. It's in Psachim. If you want to look it up, it's in 118a. It's that's the earliest sort of hard appearance that we see of Nishmat. When was the Gemara written? 500-ish.
Depends which one. Yerushalmi.
You're right. No, with Bavli. Yerushalmi was written first in about 300, 350. Bavli was written about 100 years later, 450.
In 500, but it wasn't written in.
It was compiled. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the oldest. That's the oldest thing, and by the Geonic period, which is 9th century, it's already in circulation, and it appears in the Siddur of Rav Amram Gaon, which is the earliest Siddur we have as part of the Shabbat morning prayer. So it is a very, very old prayer, which is fixed by the Gemara for Seder night, and we see it from the very first origins of the first earliest Siddurim that we have has Nishmat in it. Say again? Are there any? No, I doubt it, because the Haggadah was only really compiled finally. The Haggadah was thought to be an evolving book. It wasn't sort of written at one particular period. The fixed sort of Haggadah, the earliest fixed Haggadahs that we've got are again from that sort of time period, 8th, 9th century. So there's nothing earlier than that, as far as I'm aware. Apparently there was a debate, and maybe this is where Rashi was coming in with St. Peter. Maybe this is where this debate came from. Some early Ashkenazic Rishonim, which would be Rashi and his ilk, debated whether this should be added in or not. Some Rishonim defend it, that it's a worthy prayer, and others say, no, it's not a worthy prayer. And presumably, those that were against adding it into the Tefilah were those who perhaps thought it was written by a potential apostate. Fascinating subject, that, and I didn't know any of that. Right, we're out of time. Finish this. Thank you. We are out of time. Next week we'll actually go and look at the words of Nishmat, what it's actually getting at. We've said the core of it with that very first sentence, so we know what it's about. We're going to see some beautiful language in there, because it really is a powerful prayer. And just bear in mind when you next say Nishmat on Shabbat that musicians have chosen this hundreds and hundreds of times for a reason. Musicians are people of the spirit, right? I'm not a musician. I'm not musically dead, but I'm musically challenged. But I'm not musically dead enough to not recognize when I hear beautiful songs like the ones that I played you, and some not quite so beautiful. But to realize that there are so many people who have written songs to it, written music to these words, because they are such powerful and poetic words. So when you say Nishmat on Shabbat, by the way, just as an aside, we did Yedid Nefesh a couple of weeks ago, did we not? Yes. I'm happy to report that since we did Yedid Nefesh here, I have introduced singing Yedid Nefesh at Sudash Lishit here in a special tune, and everybody is enjoying it. Well, not everybody, but many people are enjoying it. They'd perhaps enjoy it more if I didn't do it, but there you go. Right, there you go. I will bid you all a very good night.
Bye. Good night.
Thank you.
Johnny.